I'm Evan Sinclair.
I'm Ryan Sinclair.
And hey, welcome to our show.
Oh, yeah.
First review.
Very exciting.
Super exciting.
We're talking about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard today.
Yeah, their new album, KG.
Yeah.
I think just since y'all don't know us yet, we're going to make this a little easier for you. I'm just going to slap this sucker right across my head there for you. So what'd you think, man? What'd you think of KG?
So generally, I definitely really enjoyed it. It's not perfect. I have some criticisms. They're innovating in a lot of ways, but they're also relying on some older tropes and, pulling some ideas they've already expressed together in newer ways. I'm happy with it, but I definitely see that there is some of that classic expected Gizzisms, that you see them pulling. They're doing a lot of familiar stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like that you kind of had similar feelings to me. I feel like Giz is kind of exploring a lot of sounds that they've already done before.
But in new ways, they're tying stuff together in interesting, new combinations.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I honestly think that some of the songs, they actually improved upon that sound greatly. Like off the top of my head, Ontology was one of my standout favorites, and I am in love with that track. I thought it kind of took the things that they've done before and just spiced it up, like made it really fun, new and exciting. But in some other cases, I didn't feel that way. Specifically, Automation, I won't lie, I feel like the main guitar riff in that song is like the moment I heard it, I was just like, I feel like I've heard this 1,000 times before in every other Giz song.
I agree with you that it's definitely one of the more safe tracks on the album, but I don't know. I think that specifically the drums and the vocals kind of justify that. The guitar riff is super repetitive and, I'll admit, maybe not the most interesting thing that they've done, but I think that they layer it with a lot of more nuanced things. Like, I love the vocal style, how it's produced and everything. In the end, I still think that song was big enough that I didn't really care if it was simple or derivative. It sort of was, coming out the gate strong.
Yeah, I actually on repeat listens found myself not nearly as excited by KGLW and Automation as intro tracks compared to some of the other tracks that they've had to kick off their albums before.
I completely agree, actually. The first two tracks on the album, to me, were the least exciting. Like, I definitely like Automation, and I think KGLW is a fine mood piece. It was very simple, very just, tried and true Gizism stuff, like I said.
I was not crazy about the song Odd Life.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I really like that one. It's very it's very ornamented, like lots of like stuff whizzing by and happening. Mm-hmm. I like that type of stuff a lot.
Do you have any tracks that you didn't like?
The track that actually surprised me in terms of losing interest was Some of Us.
Thank you!
Because I started just feeling like this is People Vultures or Gamma Knife. They've done that rhythm so much.
I actually found myself kind of finding it a bit too all over the place. Doesn't feel like it gives me a chance to kind of grip on to the song as it's already on to the next thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot to like about it. Like, there's a lot of interesting, melodic stuff happening. But the thing that really gripes me is, what you call a 4/6 pattern. It's like if you imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You put 4 beats on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Giz does that all the time.
I know we were just talking about King Giz staying in their lane a little bit too much with Some of Us and Automation, but Intrasport. Ooh. Intrasport, man. When that song, when I first heard that, and all of a sudden we're in like a Turkish dance club, I was like, this is incredible.
It's the way I described it. I was like, it's like a Britney Spears song on Turkish Molly. That was my thought.
I love that.
And the only problem I had with Intrasport was there's that one part where it's sort of like it does the classic cliche, we're gonna filter everything down. You can, it's all low and it's.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I don't know. It's just
I felt that was using classic motifs as the strength.
Part of it just came off as totally corny to me, but I appreciate how it works in the context of a song like Intrasport. because I mean that's what they were going for. They wanted that club feeling, that rave almost vibe, and it works for that. And I think that what it led into, dropping the drums out, no more snares, it's just that riff again, that worked really great. But in the moment when it's rising up, I really just felt like, what is happening? What is this? Like, what is Giz doing right now? Like,
that song is so fun and has such dark lyrics. One of them, one of the standout ones, is when the music, the instruments kind of pull back, and Joey's just like, "Sometimes I dream of killing certain people," or something like that. It's it's really dark stuff.
I want to sidetrack here for a second because you've talked about Ontology a good amount, and it's funny. You seem to really, really be a fan of that song.
Yes, absolutely.
I honestly think it's one of my least favorites.
Really?
It's like, wow. I feel like it's like really cool to have in the track list, but in the end, it sort of feels a little bit like the pieces aren't connected a lot. Like you got this really Eastern sounding verse and then just blowing out the gate with like a spaghetti Western chorus almost, you know what I mean? And it has support from all the microtonal instruments, and it's really cool sounding, and it's humongous and it's catchy. But at the same time, I sort of feel a little like a jilted mood from that song slightly. Almost I'm wondering, I'm sort of like shocked a little bit every time the chorus happens. I'm like, oh, we're here again. I don't know. It didn't quite catch me the way
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that I typically seem to enjoy theatrical sounds more than you do.
And that's definitely exactly what that song is.
It's very theatrical.
Explosive, like humongous, like just like I said, bursting out the gates kind of music. Like,
so you know what? Talking about explosive and sounding humongous. Let's talk about "Hungry Wolf of Fate," man, because I thought really that cool song ripped. I loved that song.
Sort of had like that Murder of the Universe deep heaviness to it.
I love stoner metal and all that stuff. So to hear Giz go for that stoner metal sound was incredible for me. It got me really excited for the possibility that Giz could do an entire stoner metal album, and I think that they would fit so well into that mold. They've already proved it with that song.
The thing that I like the most about this song is it has like it's got the humongous, really lo-fi crunchy drum fill thing into humongous just walls of sound. But then for the chorus, the guitar has so much air to breathe. Like it's like a big like downbeat, and then it gives you some space with like nothing but the groove happening. And
are you the guitar that comes in after the chorus? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's during the chorus.
Yeah. And then like the vocal melody in the back half of that chorus, like it sort of does a little much brighter, reaching upward, and then it sort of dances around, giving you some brightness, and then right back into hard hitting, punching, descending, minor sounding lines. They chose to be a little bit more rhythmically interesting with what they're doing, very carefully, arranging these ideas. I think that song is a great example of them innovating in the heavier styles that they do. And I definitely really enjoyed it.
That's awesome, man. All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot right now. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Or
sort of conclusion, I really just in general enjoy the sonic palette that this album has. A lot of interesting, lighter ideas interacting with their heavier ideas in a very healthy and interesting way. While it does take a lot from ideas that they've already demonstrated and ideas that they've already worked with in the past, I think that they've managed to bring something together here that is indicative of, good things in the future. That I would safely say that this album is like in the 7 to 8 range. I definitely think that the cons of this album, while they do bring it down a little bit, and every now and then I'm a little peeved by maybe some of the pitfalls that they sort of fall back into. But overall, I definitely am feeling very good about it, and I would say an 8 was
cool.
Fair.
I think I gotta go with a 7. I think it's really good. I don't think it's Giz's best, but I think the high points are some of the best Giz songs we've had. Like, I love Ontology. I think Intrasport is really fun. I think Hungry Wolf of Fate, I would love more songs like that. But then, like we were saying, songs like
Ontology?
No,
You're talking about
Automation are they didn't really excite me that much. After a couple listens, I was like, okay, I'm done. All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate that you stuck with it all the way through this review. We're hoping to do a lot more in the future. And if you have any suggestions for anything that you'd like to see us review, please let us know in the comments. And we're thinking the most popular one to get ourselves started and to say thank you to you guys for watching that we will pick and review as quickly as we possibly can.
That's a promise.
There we go. We have it. Official Ryan Sinclair promise.
And I don't break promises.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned. There will be a lot more new releases we'll be covering later this year. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
See you around.